You opened Instagram for 5 minutes. That's what you told yourself. Just 5 minutes. And then you saw it. Someone you know. An incredible trip. A perfect body. A relationship that looks effortless. Success that seems to come without struggle. You put your phone down. And something shifted. Not in the world. In you. 5 minutes ago you were fine. Now your life feels like it's not enough. What just happened? That wasn't envy. That wasn't insecurity. That wasn't weakness. That was your brain running a program it's been running for thousands of years. And today you're going to understand exactly why it happens. But what you discover next will completely change the way you see your own life. Before social media existed, before the internet, before cities, humans lived in small tribes. And inside those tribes, your position mattered. Not just for status, for survival. Your rank inside the group determined your access to food, shelter, and mates. So your brain developed something very specific, a constant internal system for measuring where you stood compared to everyone around you. Am I above or below the others? Am I valuable enough to this group? Is my position at risk? That system is called social comparison. And for thousands of years it served us perfectly. But here's what almost nobody realizes. That same ancient system is now running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, inside a world it was never designed to handle. And the results are devastating. Someone posts a photo on Instagram. They chose the best one out of 47 photos, adjusted the lighting, applied a filter, spent 20 minutes writing the perfect caption, and you see it in 3 seconds while eating breakfast. And you compare yourself, not to their real life, to their most curated, most edited, most carefully constructed version of themselves, to the highlight reel of their best moments. You don't see the bad days. You don't see the problems they never post about. You don't see what's behind that image. But your brain takes that image and compares it directly to your unfiltered daily reality, to your insecurities, to your doubts, to your most ordinary moments. That is not a fair comparison. It never was. But your brain doesn't know that. And that's still not the most dangerous part. Your brain has a reward system. When you do something that benefits your survival, you receive dopamine, that feeling of satisfaction, of accomplishment, of meaning. Social media discovered how to hijack that system. Every like is a small hit of dopamine. Every positive comment is another. Every new follower is another. And your brain learns fast. If that gives me dopamine, I need more of it. So you start chasing external validation constantly, checking how many likes your photo got, comparing your follower count to others, measuring your personal value by the approval of people you've never met. And here's the cruelest trap of all. The dopamine from external validation never lasts. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. What satisfies you today won't be enough tomorrow. You need more likes, more comments, more recognition, and there will always be someone who appears to have more than you. Always. But why does that happen? There's a reason almost nobody talks about. 2 people have been together for 3 years. They have arguments, boring nights, difficult days, like any real relationship. Then they open Instagram. They see a couple in Paris, holding hands perfectly, smiling in golden hour light, a caption about eternal love. And suddenly, their relationship feels inadequate. Why aren't we like that? Why don't we travel like that? Why doesn't our relationship look like that? The answer is simple. That photo was taken in 5 minutes of a 10-day trip. And the other 9 days and 23 hours you never saw, but your brain compared your entire reality to someone else's best moment. And that creates something very specific, a dissatisfaction with no solution. Because no matter what you have, there will always be a more perfect photo. There will always be a life that looks better. There will always be someone who appears to have it all. And this is where a man who lived 2,000 years ago understood something that Instagram will never be able to fix. He was born a slave, no power, no wealth, no physical freedom. And yet he became one of the most influential thinkers in history. His name was Epictetus, and he understood something that modern psychology took centuries to confirm. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. But there's something even more specific, he taught. Something that sounds like it was written for the 21st century. Epictetus said that suffering begins the moment we stop governing ourselves and start living for the opinions, achievements, and appearances of other people. For him, freedom wasn't about circumstances. It was about where you directed your attention. If your value depends on what other people have, you will always be at the mercy of something you cannot control. If your value comes from who you actually are, no one can take it from you. And here's where neuroscience and Stoicism meet perfectly. Someone spent a year building something. They finished it. It's done well. They should be proud. Then they see a colleague's work. It looks more impressive, more creative, more recognized. And in seconds, their own achievement loses its value. Not because the work changed, but because they stopped measuring it by their own standards and started measuring it by someone else's. That is the most destructive cycle of comparison. It doesn't steal what you have. It steals your ability to enjoy it. Psychologists call this relative devaluation. What you have feels worth less when someone else appears to have something better, even when what you have is exactly what you need, even when it's enough, even when it's yours. There is another invisible force at work here that makes this cycle almost impossible to break from the inside. Your brain has a very specific bias when it comes to comparison. When you compare yourself to someone, you almost never choose someone worse off than you. You compare upward, someone more successful, more attractive, more recognized. Further ahead, psychologists call this upward social comparison, and evolutionarily it made sense. Comparing yourself to someone more successful motivated you to improve, to work harder, to not fall behind. But in the world of social media, there will always be someone higher up. Always. No matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you grow, no matter how much you build, the algorithm will always find someone who appears to have everything. And if your well-being depends on being above that person, you will never be able to rest. You will never be able to feel enough. You will never truly enjoy what you already have. So what can you actually do? Epictetus had an answer, and modern neuroscience confirms it. The only comparison that doesn't destroy you is comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. Am I learning something new? Am I improving even slightly? Am I staying true to what I actually value? Those questions activate a completely different kind of dopamine, not the dopamine of external validation, but the dopamine of real progress, of growing in the direction that's right for you, not for the photo, not for the likes, not for the approval of people who don't know you, for you. And there's something deeply liberating about that shift, because when you stop measuring your life against someone else's, what you already have starts to feel like enough. Not because the world changed, but because you changed the question. I want you to understand something real. There will always be someone richer. There will always be someone more successful. There will always be someone more attractive. There will always be someone with more followers, more recognition, more of everything. That is never going to change. As long as you measure your life against someone else's life, you will never feel truly successful. Never. But the day you decide that your only competition is who you were yesterday, everything changes. Not because you suddenly have more, but because for the first time, you can actually see what you already have. And that doesn't need a filter. It doesn't need a perfect caption. It doesn't need anyone's approval. It's yours, completely yours. If this video connected with you, subscribe to the channel. New content every week to help you build a stronger, clearer mind. And in the next video, you'll discover something even more unsettling. The Stoics already knew that your greatest enemy was never the world outside. It was always your own mind. See you there.